think I sleep with a full phone full of evidence? You think I don't wipe my phone every night? You think I'm dumb? Come get me, arrest me.
Karma has finally come for the grifter and alleged Sir Andrew Tate. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, your home for independent and nonpartisan commentary and analysis on politics, media, internet insanity, and more. This story has a bit of it all, actually, because we're going to talk about the arrest of Andrew Tate. Now, you may have forgotten about him because he's really faded out of relevancy, but for a while, this guy was like the next big thing. He was like an alpha male. A lot of young men sadly looked up to him, even though he was always kind of a caricature of masculinity. Big muscles, tattoos, big cars, calling women names and telling them to do this and that and objectifying them. It was always kind of like a teenage boy's idea of what a man looks like before their kind of prefrontal cortex develops. But there's always been a very dark and sinister element to Andrew Tate, which is a repeated series of very serious criminal allegations about him and against him in Romania, in the United Kingdom, and as well some related to the United States. But he, for a long time, escaped actual accountability for this, particularly in the UK, because he hasn't lived there. There have been serious accusations against him with some corroboration as well. But now he's been arrested in Miami in light of a potential extradition back to the UK to face these charges and be held accountable. And frankly, his tears are absolutely delicious. To me, at least. Let's watch some reporting from CBS News on what went down. Then we'll get into some of the receipts that caused me to not, in fact, play my tiny violin of sympathy for Andrew Tate. Let's watch.
Tonight, British authorities are seeking the extradition of Andrew and Tristan Tate. The prominent influencers in the so-called manosphere were arrested by federal marshals in Miami. CBS's Christian Benavidez is there with details on the new charges. Christian.
Good evening, Jerika. The Tate brothers were taken into custody as they were heading to a boxing event that one of them was set to co-host here in Miami. They've indicated that they're likely going to fight those extradition charges back to the United Kingdom.
I'm sure they will.
U.S. Marshals arrested notorious social media influencers Andrew and Tristan Tate in Miami.
I'm sorry. We got to pause on that outfit. What does he wear? It's just so funny how he's like the most feminine, metrosexual coded alpha male you'll ever see. It's wild to me. Anyway.
In Miami on Saturday, stemming from recent developments in the UK, authorities there, who already had a case against the duo, say 4 more alleged victims of the brothers came forward with accusations of trafficking, assault, child, and extreme pornography,
bringing the total number of charges faced to 59. The charges relate to 7 victims, spanning a period from 2010 to 2017.
The men are part of the so-called manosphere, boasting millions of followers and selling online courses on masculinity. In 2022, the Tate brothers were arrested in Romania on human trafficking and sexual exploitation charges. The case did not go to trial but remains open. Last year, the brothers...
By the way, they often claim that the charges were dropped or dismissed or that they defeated the charges in Romania. That's not exactly true. But regardless, the charges in the UK have always been very well substantiated, as we will go through. And now there's additional victims making very serious claims against these folks. This is not 1 or 2 isolated, unproven accusations. This is a mountain of accusations that are in many ways much more believable when you view them in the context of Andrew Tate's past statements, as we will. Anyway.
Brothers left Romania for Florida, and state officials announced a probe into their activity. The Tate brothers deny all allegations. Their attorney tells CBS News the world knows Andrew and Tristan Tate are innocent.
We've yet to be convicted of any crime in our lives ever.
The Tate brothers are set to face a judge as early as tomorrow. Legal experts have said that this will likely be a lengthy legal battle over extradition. Jerika.
Christian Benavidez in Miami, thank you.
I love that bit at the end there where they're like, well, we have yet to be convicted of any charge. Okay, that's why they want to bring you back to the UK, to put you on trial, babe. and they should be allowed to. He'll fight the extradition, but I think the U.S. government should absolutely cooperate with and support him being extradited, him and his brother, to face these charges in the UK, because this is not some witch hunt. These are serious accusations, which, of course, he has every right to contest, and he will have an opportunity to in a court of law in the UK. They do, in fact, have a system of due process. And so he is innocent till proven guilty, yes, but that's part of the accountability process, is that we do extradite criminals to countries that we cooperate with, like the United Kingdom, as they extradite criminals to us, and alleged criminals, of course. And I don't see any reason why we wouldn't do exactly that, given the seriousness of these accusations and the corroboration in support of them, which we will go through. But first, I just want to explain even further how little sympathy I have this dude, because for the last several years since he returned to the US, he has been actively taunting and baiting the government to arrest him. So here was a tweet he wrote in 2025. Florida, I will be flying back tomorrow and look forward to getting arrested if you have probable cause, because every day you don't arrest me proves you're clowns talking lies for political points. At Governor Ron DeSantis, come get me if I'm guilty and charge me in a court of law. All right, well, this isn't exactly that, but it's quite similar. The UK is coming to get you to charge you in a court of law. Now, what he's referencing here is that multiple high-level Florida state officials have suggested that he is not welcome, or that if he's engaged in any of this behavior in Florida, they will consider charging him. But the reason they ultimately didn't is most likely because they only have jurisdiction over what happens in Florida. And he's not alleged, to my knowledge, to have committed these crimes in Florida. So they can't just arrest him for, alleged that he did in the UK. That's not how it works. So it doesn't mean he's innocent. It just means they can only arrest you if you do something in Florida. And to my knowledge, he hasn't engaged in further crimes here, at least as of yet. But it's how are you going to dare people to arrest you on social media, then expect us to feel bad for you when you get arrested? Oh, I've never been convicted. I look forward to facing the charges in a court of law. Congratulations. Here you go. You got what you asked for. I don't know what else to tell you. There's a brazenness to him with which clearly he has the air of a man who thinks he is above accountability, and he is not, in fact. So I find that to be wonderful. I'm going to play you this clip of him on the Candace Owens podcast a little while back, a year or two back, where he was exactly taunting them to come arrest him, please. Anyway, let's watch that.
I'm right here in Miami. I'm right here in Miami. Come get me. Arrest me. Perp walk me. Put me on the news. Tell everyone I'm a human trafficker. You think I'm not versed? You think I'm not ready? I'm a Navy SEAL in this shit. Come get me. Raid my house. Take my stuff. You think I sleep with a full phone full of evidence? You think I don't wipe my phone every night? You think I'm dumb? Come get me. Arrest me.
Breaking: Andrew and Tristan Tate have been arrested in Miami.
Gotcha. It's just hilarious because he was taunting them to arrest him and hold him accountable. And now he's facing extradition to the United Kingdom on very serious and corroborated criminal charges. So yeah, congrats. You got the attention you ordered. And did anyone else catch what he said there? You think I sleep with a phone full of evidence? You don't think I wipe my phone every night? Wait, what? You sound guilty as my dude. I don't wipe my phone every night. I've never wiped my phone in my life. Because what's there evidence of? Is that not kind of a self-own, an admission? To me, I have no evidence I need to wipe on my phone every night because I don't do any criminal shit. It is just hard to imagine somebody who seems more obviously guilty of at least some of the accusations against him than Andrew Tate, given his own public statements bragging about doing some of the behavior he is accused of, his clear statements expressing, support for or admitting to abusing women in various ways. I don't know if any individual accusation against him is true. And like anyone, he's entitled to the presumption of innocence until it's proven in a court of law. That's all they're trying to do by extraditing him to the UK, is put him on trial, have him face the charges, face the accusers, face the evidence, and be held accountable for it, or clear his name. Now, don't hold your breath waiting for that to happen, because my prediction would be that you'll pass out, but it's possible. Like I said, it is hilarious that he taunted them to arrest him. And then, in fact, it took a little while. They're getting their ducks in a row. But then exactly that is what ultimately transpired. And we do have to spare a word for Candace Owens and for Tucker Carlson and these other right-wing media figures who, and I've been critical of this for years, they embraced Tate and gave him very softball interviews. They had friendly personal interactions with him, and then they allowed him to lie about his own charges being dismissed or found innocent or make a bunch of untrue statements on their platforms unchallenged and didn't hold him accountable and did very softball interviews with him. That is disgraceful. If you say you are somebody who believes in traditional values, if you say you're somebody who's against pornography or any of these other things, but then you softball and essentially do PR for this person who, even whether criminal charges against him are true or not, is just on the record admitting to a lot of horrible, horrible stuff you're supposed to be against. But because he's edgy and says right-wing shit on Twitter, and you know he might bring you a brief momentary spike in views or something, you're suddenly buddy-buddy for him, or you're doing PR softball interviews. I find that to be embarrassing and disgraceful, and I think Candace and Tucker both need to be held accountable for that. As this continues to evolve with Andrew Tate, their fans should revisit some of their coverage of this and say, were you really very forthright with us about this? Did you really do your due diligence? Did you use your platform responsibly here? And in my view, the answer is no, but I think their fans should at least ask that question. I'm going to play, and this is a disturbing video, by the way. So if you are, at all sensitive to these issues, you don't want to listen to this. But I'm going to play you a clip where both text messages and voice notes that Andrew Tate sent to some of the women who have accused him of crimes in the UK are recounted and shown. This is a clip from the BBC. It is shocking stuff, but I will say it does make me wonder if he will in fact be found innocent of all charges. I'll just say that. Let's watch.
Am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I loved how much you hated it. Why am I like that? Why?
Whilst we were having sex, he put his hand on my throat and strangled me until I lost consciousness.
Oh, God.
But he was still having sex with me when I kind of came back around again.
I am one of the most dangerous men on this planet. Sometimes you forget exactly how lucky you were to get by me. Would you rather me pin you down and make you do things you didn't like, or would you rather you didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to? That's what it is. I'm the smartest person on this planet.
And then the next day, one of the whites of my eyes had gone completely red. Apparently, that's kind of common in domestic abuse cases where there's a lack of oxygen in your brain. So your blood vessels start bursting to kind of try and get the oxygen there.
Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit? You didn't pass out?
But he kind of kept saying, I own you.
Oh, that text says, I love you.
Threatening to kill me.
Chill the out. Jesus Christ. I thought you were cool.
I have seen that montage several times before. In fact, I watched the entire BBC report about all the evidence against him. And I'll just say this. It's not giving innocent to me. Of course, he's entitled to due process of law. He should not be criminally punished unless given a day in court and a trial and an attorney to represent him and all of that. And upon his extradition to the United Kingdom, he will in fact be given all of that opportunities. But I'm saying I am allowed to actually have a prejudgment about what I suspect the truth of this matter may be. And all the available past, public, current statements, recordings, documents, and evidence and testimony of everything this man has ever said and done and stood for and admitted and bragged about and advocated all lean in one direction. Really. So listen, I'm just saying, I absolutely support his extradition to the United Kingdom to face these charges. I think we need a reckoning for all the people in right-wing media who defended or buddy-buddied with this grifter. And, give him his day in court, but it's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good, governor. Good luck to you in hopefully being held accountable at long last. Andrew Tate. That's my take on this story. That's why I find his tears, frankly, delicious. And you guys will have to let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you aren't yet. Do hit the like button while you are at it. And do consider becoming a channel member. I call out the far left and the far right. And unfortunately, not the best business model at times. People really do enjoy it when you just pander to one side exclusively, but I'm too opinionated and too honest and frankly too annoyed and fed up to do that. So instead, I bring you an independent approach and call out the whole spectrum. To keep doing that, I do need support from viewers like you, so do consider becoming a channel member. Hit the join button or the link in the description or pinned comment. And I also do videos where I answer member comments and questions. So if you have a comment or something you want me to react to, some feedback, you can become a channel member, then drop it down below. And with that, guys, we'll leave it there for now and be back with more real soon.